Welcome to Gerald Khalil's Conversation Piece. I share my thoughts on social content in sports, politics, and entertainment. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, the Browns lose to the LA Chargers 27-10. The record is now 2-7, and this just about ruins any hopes of them making the postseason. The Browns were beaten in every phase of the game. They couldn't execute offensively. Jameis Winston had a horrific game. He went 26 for 46 for 235 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. So there you go. This is what you're going to get with Jameis Winston. You're going to get a lot of touchdowns one game. You're going to get a lot of interceptions another game. So it's nothing surprising to me. The rushing game was non-existent. Besides that, Cedric Tillman, he had a pretty good game. 6 receptions for 75 yards. And that's like his 3rd good game in a row. So he's beginning to pick things up. He's beginning to establish himself as a receiver that you can count on. Jerry Jeudy, he went 7 for 73. So pretty decent. I would like to see bigger numbers from him, but he did okay. The most frustrating part in the offensive game was the game plan and the play calls. So the Browns did more 5-wide sets this game. And what was frustrating is that last week they did a lot of play action stuff. And it worked very well against the Ravens. You would think that they would have done that this week, but they didn't. But with that said, we have to give the Chargers some credit. Unlike last week against the Ravens, the Browns faced a team that was near the bottom of the league in pass defense. Now, the Chargers, they're in the top 10 in just about every statistical defensive category, and that makes a difference. And that's one thing that Jim Harbaugh, he's going to do. He's just going to bring that old school defense and that old school play calling to any team he goes to. He did it when he was with San Francisco, and he did it when he went to the college ranks, especially with Michigan. I mean, they were just an old school football team that beat you up front. And now he's back with the Chargers, coaching them, and that's what they're doing. He's building that team to beat you up front. So that and very physical football team. So those were some situations that the Browns were facing against the Chargers, and again, the Chargers were just a better team. The defense for the Browns, they played well, but they had 2 blown assignments in the defensive backfield, which resulted in scores. Myles Garrett, man, he was a beast, man. He finished with 3 sacks. He had 5 quarterback hits. He had 3 tackles for a loss. He had 4 solo tackles. But outside of him, it was a beatdown. The Chargers just beat us down, and it's very disappointing. So now you think of what's next. We're at 2-7. In order for our team to make the playoffs, we're going to probably have to run the table, right? 10-7 will probably get you in. 9-8 is very iffy, So you probably will have to run the table. So you think, what do you do at this point? Do you go and start evaluating the talent that you already have on the team? Or do you start trading players for draft picks? So there's a lot of hot rumors out there right now that the Browns are looking to move Za'Darius Smith. And to me, if you're going to move him, you might as well not stop there. You might as well also, and I've said this before, this will be maybe the 4th or 5th uh, podcasts I've said this, and I think you need to move Denzel Ward. You really do. I mean, he's had 6 concussions at this point. And here's the whole thing. You want to sell high, right? Sell high, buy low. So you want to consider trading Denzel Ward. I mean, he's a great player, but we got to start moving him. You may also want to look at some other holes, players that you want to move. I know folks are talking about Myles Garrett, but no, I wouldn't trade him. You're going to need someone like him in the rebuild, because that's basically what you're going to be doing. It's a rebuild. Now, is it fair to Myles? Probably not. If Myles said, look, I don't want to be part of this rebuild, please move me, then I would do it. I would do the same thing with Nick Chubb. I would want to keep Nick Chubb. He's a fan favorite. He's a great locker room guy. But, let's being honest, after the knee injury, who knows how good he's ever going to be again. And if someone's willing to offer you, I don't know what, a fifth for Nick Chubb, you go ahead and you probably go ahead and take it, because right now you have to start thinking of your rebuild. Okay. Now, then you have to also, as far as management's concerned, are you going to trust Andrew Berry to make the correct choices on the picks that you're going to get? And are you confident in Stefanski coaching them up? Personally, I'm a little more confident in Stefanski and the job that he will do as opposed to Berry. You thought that he had struck gold with Martin Emerson. Martin Emerson seems to have taken a step back this year. And then you think, well, then maybe Cedric Tillman, he seems to have picked his game up. But at this point, a lot of Andrew Berry's other picks and a lot of his other free agent signings haven't been all of that. Maybe, you front office, maybe that's something you have to think about, maybe moving him. But here's the thing with that is you don't even know if someone's, pulling the strings on him, right? So what does Paul DePodesta do? We don't know what he does. He could be controlling things. Then you have, you just have a lot of mess. There's no transparency on who's running what. And it could be a situation, who knows? Andrew Berry could pick a player or could suggest a player to Kevin Stefanski. Stefanski could say, hey, I don't like that guy, let's try someone else. And that person could have been the next superstar. We don't know. The front office is just so heavy with this analytics. So you just don't know what's going on. So that's something to think about. So next up, we have the bye. So it's guaranteed that the Browns will not lose. Hallelujah with that. After the bye, they have the New Orleans Saints. So New Orleans, they lost today to Carolina. So once again, we got another team that's beatable. I know the Browns will be playing in New Orleans, but still, again, beatable team. And then after that, after New Orleans, I think we have Pittsburgh, I believe. So you played a team today in the Chargers that is very tough defensively, and you're going to be playing a team that's very tough defensively in about 2-3 weeks. So you better be prepared, and you better have a great game plan against the more. You're going to get blown out the water. You're going to get embarrassed, and I know there's not too many times where you could say, "Oh, well, yeah, the Browns have gotten embarrassed before, so how worse could it get?" Well, it could get much worse if they get blown out by the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Because that's your rival, and you don't want to get the doors blown off if you're there. So those are my takes. I wanted to give you a quick Sunday recap there on this game. Browns lose 27-10 to the Los Angeles Chargers. Our record now drops to 2-7. Going to the bye week. Please leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. You can also follow me on X. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.